Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we are watching a daily race C at Monza and I'm driving the Corvette C70. We're starting from the back on my second account, the one from the USA. P19, let's see how we do. So here we go then for 10 laps of Monza for a Group 3 race. We're starting behind a Brazilian who's in the Jaguar, and we get such a good launch and we're already catching him before the line's even started, and it looks like we're going to even overtake him going down into turn 1 into that slipstream. It looks like someone behind's decided to slow down. Maybe he's had an issue with his wheel and he shouldn't have lasted first challenge like I was. We're going to brake early, avoiding the corners, and that Brazilian in the Jaguar is just going to go full send and come off worst. That's what happens when you're not cautious enough into turn 1, 2. And then the Evo gets a bad exit, so we're going to take P16. We've already gained 3 positions. There might be some more carnage down into the second chicane with De La Roggia. There was some yellow flags that might mean someone's got reset or spun out. No positions gained, but we might get one here. When down the inside, the American is going to try and squeeze us onto the inside, but we are there, so we're going to be able to make that move down the inside, and then coming into Lesmo too. And the two Americans make some contact, and the Aston Martin does get a 4-second penalty. It looked like he just lost the rear and then bumped into his fellow US citizen. Keep it nice and clean through a scar with the 4 ahead or not, and then someone behind it just spins. And I made contact with him, and I was really worried about getting a 4-second penalty, because you know what the penalty system's like. I was so surprised I didn't get penalised for that, because on any other occasion I was almost 100% sure I'd be getting a penalty for that. Maybe it's because he'd already spun, I'm not sure. Now we're going to go down the inside. Go through the middle of both these two cars, and it looks like the Brazilian misses his braking point, and we're going to go deep. I'm going to push off the Aston Martin. There wasn't really anywhere I could go. Yeah, that Brazilian punts us, we go deep, and I think the Aston Martin got a little bit affected by that as well. Nothing I can do there. You know, when you're that close behind someone, you have to be prepared to brake late. And once again, he just braked so late into the corner, and he just picked up another penalty. You know, I don't think I'm necessarily going slow. I am on the hard tyres, but still, I can't be that bad. And then we just miss out on contact with the Porsche. We were quite lucky he didn't slam into us there. We didn't slam into him. We got ourselves a random 2-second penalty. So far we have been quite lucky with the penalty system. We've been punted twice by the same person. And then someone was spun and we made contact with them. But luckily no SR downs are penalties, so this will help me get my SR back onto S, because of a certain Bathurst race it made me lose quite a lot of SR, let's just say. But then as you see there, we go wide, coming out the Parabolica, and then the FT1 behind is going to make a move, but this Corvette's got too much top end. It's got so much more top end to the FT1, and we are going to slot back ahead and keep our P7. Braking nice and late to make sure that the Toyota cannot make a move on us. But he makes a sensible decision, unlike the Brazilian, and brakes a little bit earlier. You have to be prepared to do that at Monza, because there is lots of different braking zones. You know, some people like to go deep, some people like to go brake a bit earlier. Keep it nice and clean through Della Roggia. I'm going into the Lesmos, and we might just be able to get P6 here because, as you can see, the Canadians have taken a half-second penalty for track limits. So let's see, as he's about to serve his half-second. Are we going to be able to get past him? It looks like we are. We're going to tuck into his slipstream, come back out, to make sure we get as much straight line speed as we can. Yeah, we're up to P6 now. The Canadian isn't going to give up that position as easy as I wanted. So he's coming back now, using the slipstream. We're going to defend the inside, so he's going to have to go round the outside to make this move stick. And he is going to. When we brake at the exact same time, going into turn 1, he's going to be on the inside for turn 2. We're going to see if we can go for a switchback here. And the run down to Della Roggia. We are going to pit this lap bar and gone to the mediums for the rest of this race. And what I decided to do, instead of fighting him, sometimes it's just better to bump draft each other, help each other out. There's no need to fight, because both of you are going to waste time. And once we come through the Della Roggia, we get quite loose on the exit, as you can see there, men coming through the Lesmos. Keeping it nice and clean through Lesmo 1, using some of that curb. Sadly, someone's knocked down the 50 board for Lesmo 2, so I can't use that. So that just makes Lesmo 2 a little bit more difficult, because there's no braking marker. And coming into a story, we're catching up to the Canadian, but once again, we're not going to bother fighting it. It's a bit too far back for a dive bomb anyway. And then because of our slightly worn high tyres, we go right at us on the exit, go into the gravel trap, into Parabolica. Now we're going to come in for our pit stop, get on the mediums, there's no need to refuel. Now we just have 6 laps of good hard push and see how much we can gain. Because a top 5 or even a podium could be on the cards if we get a good 2 or 3 laps in, whilst waiting for everyone to make their pit stops. So what we're basically doing is the undercut. Just being a little bit more careful into turn 1 and 2. But when I say that, I don't necessarily mean that I was careful. I just remembered I tried careful because I just saw that we went into the gravel trap. Once again into the Della Roggia, going down into first, more rotation. Do feel more confident doing that on the mediums compared to the hards. And if you look at the delta to P7 ahead and the big red gap next to my name, that is the gap to the leader, and luckily it's coming down a little bit. That does help. Fastest lap in the race so far is a 1 minute 48. So let's see if we can get into the 147s. I've been getting into the 147s all week, and then we clip the grass coming into a scorer there. Lose a bit of time, but we're still gaining a lot on P7, the American. We might be able to make a move into turn 1 unless it's going to dive into the pits, which I think he probably will be. Yeah, he's going to the right, you can tell, but he's going to go into the pits. We're going to use a little bit more of his slipstream. I'm not going to follow him into the pits, but we're going to follow him until we physically can, just to get that more straight line speed. It is really important on a track like Monza. But yeah, we jumped the Canadian because of our undercut. I don't think this was necessarily a very good outlap. We had two big mistakes coming out of turn 1 and 2, and then through Ascari. But just because we had some fresh mediums and they're faster than the hard tyres, we were able to get ahead of our opponent and take P6. And through sector 1 we got purple, which I sort of expected, but not really. Through the Lesmos, going into second for a bit more rotation, using a lot of curb. You can use a bit more curb with the mediums because it's not as punishing as on the hard tyres. But yeah, so far we're doing so well. So far so good. We've already gained 13 positions. We've just got to the halfway point. Can we gain any more? It's a real question. Now with the 3 ahead are in the pits, and we set a 1:47.3, which is the best lap I've set in a race so far this week. We're going to jump all 3 of them and go into the podium positions. I wasn't even expecting that, to be honest. I thought maybe we would gain 1 or 2, but no, we gained all the way into the podium. I can't complain about that at all. For 4 seconds to just one German ahead. Are we going to be able to catch him? Keep watching and you'll find out. Hello again, I'm back with the commentary. Hopefully it didn't scare you or anything. Yeah, we're on the final lap now and we're just less than 3 seconds away. You can see there we do get a bit of wheel spin because now our tyres are a bit worn out. And yeah, once you get to a certain point the hards are actually faster than the mediums. So now it is looking unlikely for us to get a P2 or a P1. Unless both of them somehow make a mistake. We are not going to get that. And if I skip ahead now to the final corner, you can see that we do remain P3, which I will happily take, considering we started P19. I'm really happy with that. And if you enjoyed that video, do consider hitting the like button, it does help me out. I personally think it was a good entertaining race worthy of a like button, hitting that like button, but maybe you didn't. Drop a dislike, drop a like. What was your opinion on the race? Do you think I could have done anything better? Do you think I was too aggressive at some points? Too cautious? Let me know in the comments, drop a comment, why not? If you're watching, give me some feedback, it always helps. Apart from that, I have nothing else to say. Catch you in the next one.